How hard was it for you to procure an IPIL or any emergency contraceptive in Chennai?
I've heard a few times from my friends that it's quite hard. So when I needed it, I had this on my mind, and we went to 2, 3 stores, but we couldn't get it. Yeah, so I found it extremely hard to procure an IPIL. When I was searching for an IPIL, I went to multiple pharmacies, and a lot of them told me that either they don't have the IPIL, they've asked me to get a doctor's prescription for it, or they just shooed me away basically. So I found it extremely hard. I found an IPIL the next day, which sort of defeats the purpose of an IPIL itself. Yes, I did it last year. It was during October. I had called up pharmacies in Adyar as well as in Marina Beach sites, and they all have like banned the phone off my face, saying that no, we don't stock it up here, or some have even said that it's banned in Chennai, do not get it. When I looked for it online as well on many Apollo apps, because their services are very well known here in and around Chennai, and they all have said that no, we don't stock up the pills, or even if you want to order, you have to give us a valid prescription as well as your ID proof, and then you get the medicine 1 week later. So, what's the point of popping a pill for 72 hours? It nullifies the effect.
The Tamil Nadu government in the year 2020 removed all kinds of shadow ban from the emergency contraceptive pills. The government directed the pharmacies and the government institutions to keep these pills in case of an emergency. So I, along with my reporter Gesu Bharadwaj, did a status check on the availability of ECPs in Chennai. We went to around 20 pharmacies to look for an ECP and found that little has changed and reality is far different from what the government believes.
Sorry, madam. Banned now.
Huh?
Banned. Yes, some not fully banned.
Will I not get it in the hospital also?
I don't know.
The government has banned prescription Not banned. Not banned. Then they will give a prescription only.
No supply.
No supply. Where will I get it? It's an emergency.
Hospital pharmacy.
Hospital pharmacy. Which hospital can you tell any? Madhu? Madhumpriya. Padmapriya. How far?
Third left.
Third left. Anna, emergency contraceptive pill नहीं है. Where can I find it? Try in some other medical shop. Do you have emergency contraceptive pills?
No, ma'am, not available.
I pills not available.
Yes, opposite hospital pharmacy.
Hospital pharmacy. Ma'am, why is it not available in general pharmacies?
No, ma'am, no stock.
No stock. Otherwise, you have.
Hospital, yes, hospital pharmacy.
Hello.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, I wanted to ask. Does nobody here come asking for? Nobody uses contraceptives in contraceptive pills in Chennai. People don't use contraceptive pills in Chennai. Are you sure? See, contraceptive pills, birth control, IPIL, emergency contraceptive, no emergency contraceptive. Sir, nowhere it is available. Where can
Apollo.
Apollo also doesn't?
No one has.
Temporarily off subject. Online only.
Online only.
Online available.
But in pharmacies, it's not available. Why, sir?
Problem.
So what
Drug
problem?
control is problem.
Drug control. Okay, thank you. You have the emergency contraceptive pills? birth control. IPL, which nothing is there. Why? I cannot find it in any medical store. Huh?
Which doctor prescribes this medicine?
Huh? No, no doctor has given me any prescription. With prescription, will you give?
Yes.
After being asked to get a prescription, we went to the nearest gynecologist. We booked an appointment with her, and this is what she told us.
Government is red against it.
Oh, emergency.
Yeah, no, they are cheating you. It is not at all available. Birth control tablets available. Emergency contraceptive is not at all available.
I wanted that only.
It is not available.
So, ma'am, where can I get it from then?
In India, you cannot get it. Why you don't understand?
Because
India, emergency contraceptive is not at all available. இல்லப்பா, they want to avoid the pregnancy. For that she is asking. But it's not at all available in any medical shop.
But IPL is emergency contraceptive pill.
IPL.
IPL.
No, now it is not. It's not available in the medical.
We buy, like maybe in Chennai it is there because we buy it in other cities.
I don't know where it is available.
Even though we were not given the prescription, we did not give up. We still went to different pharmacies across the city looking for an IPL. At last, when we went to Om Pharmacy, which was our last pharmacy in Chennai's Thiruvanmiyur, we finally found a ray of hope and returned home with just one IPL. And the next day, we set out again, but this time to government hospitals.
we went to around 12 different pharmacies across Chennai and we did not get any ECP in any of them. After which we came to the Rajiv Gandhi Government General Hospital, which is the biggest government hospital in Chennai. But our efforts were futile. Even in the tower 2 of the hospital, we did not find the ECP. We were, however, redirected from the hospital to the Institute of Gynecology. So let us go and have a look at their dispensary if at all ECPs are available there. By the time we went to the Institute of Gynecology in Chennai, ECMO, the family OP hours, which is from 7 am to 10 am, were already over. So we were being asked to come the next day. And when I visited the gynecologist, she told me that you should have procured the contraceptive pills yesterday only and you should have bought it from any private pharmacy. But the irony is what we all know and have seen in the previous investigation of the pharmacies in Chennai. And even though I was able to procure the emergency pill, I was being asked whether I was married or unmarried and several other such uncomfortable questions. In fact, just remember that post 10 am, anyone who needs a contraceptive pill on an emergency basis won't be able to procure it from the government hospital in the family OP. Right now I'm standing right outside the Tamil Nadu government multi-super speciality hospital. This is the third government hospital that we visited in search of the ECP. When I went to the pharmacist, he told me with a straight face that this is not a contraceptive hospital, but a multi-super speciality hospital. When I corrected him, he immediately redirected me to the government Kasturba Gandhi Hospital, which is about 2 kilometers away and will be the fourth government hospital that we will be visiting in search of the same ECPs that the health department promised will be available for the over-the-counter use across pharmacies in Chennai. As far as our investigative report goes, this promise was made in 2020, but 3 years down the line, nothing seems to have changed. But let us go and have a look. As we went inside a government Kasturba Gandhi Hospital, first we were being asked to roam around several blocks to finally find a family planning OP registration desk. Only one person was allowed, so when I went inside, the room was full of judgments. They were discussing that she needs an ECP pill. Finally, I talked to the gynecologist and she started discussing my entire situation with the colleague. I was being asked to take a test, and when I asked that what the test is for, they just told me it's a mandatory daily routine. But when the test was done, I was being told that it was a pregnancy test. And And just imagine if I, as a reporter, was feeling this uncomfortable, what would be the condition of a person who is in dire need of an emergency contraceptive pill? Not just this, even I was asked whether I was married or unmarried. And even though I got an emergency pill, when I was leaving, I was asked about where do I live, where I am from originally. And when they got to know that I am a part of institution, they asked me the entire address of the college and whether I live in hostel or not. And even my personal details about my personal life with my boyfriend, whether I live with my partner in a live-in relationship or not, where he is from. And in fact, they even checked my phone number. They tried calling me, and when I asked the name of the gynecologist, she said, "No need to save my number." So, in fact, the entire process of getting an emergency contraceptive pill at the government Kasturba Gandhi Hospital was full of disappointment and uncomfort.
The last hospital on our list of hospitals to visit is the government Stanley Hospital. However, after reaching there, they redirected us to their gynac department, which is the government hospital Royapuram. I have to admit that procuring the contraceptive pill was the easiest at this hospital. However, when I was leaving with the contraceptive pill, a group of staff flocked to me and they started mocking me for being able to get or procure the pill easily and not being asked questions or not being asked uncomfortable questions for the same. The only thing that I was asked was my marital status and my address. Also, the name of the institution that I belong to. They asked me if I am a working person or a student. Apart from this, no other uncomfortable questions were asked. However, the catch here is that the Tamil Nadu government claims that every government hospital has the ECPs available in their pharmacies, but that is far from the truth. Every government hospital's gynac department, which is often a separate building, sometimes 2 kilometers, sometimes a 4 kilometer of distance is there between these two buildings. And gynac departments have these things. Apart from this, even the gynac departments that are giving these pills give them at the grade of the woman's dignity. Through our primary research, we found out that it's very hard to procure an ECP in Chennai, but the GCC seems to be in denial.
It is available in all government institutions. In Greater Chennai Corporation, it is available at 140 UPHC and 16 UCHC and 3 EOC. And also plus in private pharmacies also it's available.
And ma'am, in these hospitals, when someone goes to procure these emergency contraceptive pills, are there any sort of tests that these people have to go through, like pregnancy tests?
No, not needed also because it is issued within 72 hours of unprotected intercourse. Only they have to reveal, say as they had intercourse with them. Then it should be taken as early as possible. If possible, immediately they can take. If not, within 72 hours of no need for any specific test.
Our investigation came to an end, but so did the ban back in 2020. And during the ban, abortions rose rapidly.